Hello everyone, welcome to today's movie. In today's movie we're going to provide a very general introduction to this concept of hypothesis testing or statistical hypothesis testing, and this is chapter 6 within the textbook, which contains a great deal of detail on this. So this particular chapter sets the scene to allow us then to perform hypothesis testing both for parametric and non-parametric tests in the later chapters, etc. So parametric tests. The parametric test is the hypothesis test which provides generalizations for making statements about the mean of the parent population. Notice the word mean. We calculate our average using the mean. The test assumes that the variables are measured on an interval stroke ratio level and the variables are normally distributed. Now, if they're not normally distributed, so your variable data is heavily skewed, then you should use a non-parametric test. The non-parametric test is defined as the hypothesis test, which is not based on underlying assumptions. The test assumes that the variables are measured on a nominal or ordinal level and are not normally distributed. The test is mainly based on differences in medians, hence it is alternately known as the distribution-free test. So some examples of specific tests, and we cover these in chapter 7 and chapter 8 of the book, and you've also got in chapter 8 the chi-square test of association as well. But if you're comparing a sample average against a population average, a constant, then if your variable data, your sample mean data is normally distributed, so you know that's true, then you can perform a one sample t-test. If you don't know how your variable varies, i.e. it's heavily skewed, it's not normally distributed, then you should use a non-parametric test that involves medians, the calculation of medians, such as the sign test and the one sample Wilcoxon test. If you're comparing two independent sample averages, then if it's parametric, so both your samples, your population variables are assumed to be normally distributed, then you should be using a two-sample t-test for independent samples. But if your variables are not normally distributed, then you should be using the non-parametric test equivalent, such as the Mann-Whitney test. And if you're looking at, say, two dependent sample averages, then you would look at the two-sample t-test for dependent samples and the Wilcoxon signed rank test if your variables are not normally distributed. So the key is, for parametric tests, you would expect, if it's a variable compared, say, to a population value, then you would expect the population variables to be normally distributed. But if you're comparing a sample mean against a population mean, remember the central limit theorem, you would expect your sample means to be normally distributed. Then you use a t-test or an ANOVA test or a z-test, etc. Now, if you don't know anything, if you don't know whether or not, or you know that your variables are not normally distributed, then you use a non-parametric test, such as the sign test, the Mann-Whitney test, etc. So the step procedure for hypothesis testing is: step 1 is state your formal hypothesis. What is your null hypothesis H0? What's your alternative hypothesis H1? Step 2 then is, based upon the data that you're given and the type of hypothesis that you're doing, is determine the test to apply for the given hypothesis statement. Step 3 then is to state the level of significance, alpha, and we normally take alpha as 5%, which is 0.05 as a decimal, but you can have alternative values. Step 4 then is to extract the relevant statistics, whether you use an Excel or you use an SPSS. Step 5 is make a decision. So if you use an Excel, then you can use, say, data analysis to perform two sample t-tests, or you could use the Excel functions like t.dist, etc., or t.inv.2t, or whatever, to actually do calculations for you. With non-parametric tests, Excel doesn't have non-parametric equivalent functions to the parametric tests like t.dist, etc. So you would have to solve problems with non-parametric tests from first principles using Excel functions like count and sum and countif, etc., as you'll see in chapter 8 of the book. If you use an SPSS, it's so much easier because it's just all menu driven, as you can see on the screen. So if you want to do parametric tests, it's analyze, compare means, and there's your choices. If it's non-parametric, you click on analyze, non-parametric tests, and there's your choices. So it's a menu driven system. Now, how do you make decisions? Well, in SPSS, it will never give you the critical value, say of t or whatever. It always gives you the test p value. With Excel, then the data analysis solution will give you the p value. But if you're just solving the problem using the Excel functions as normal, then you can calculate the critical values using the Excel functions if it's parametric, or you can then use the Excel functions to calculate p-values as well. But in general, it's probably better just to calculate the p-values, and then if your p-value is less than your significance level alpha, then we would reject the null hypothesis H0 and accept the alternative hypothesis H1. So in conclusion, what we've done is just a very simple introduction to hypothesis testing, both for parametric and for non-parametric tests involving 1 and 2 samples. So that's it for now. So go to the chapter 7, chapter 8 and chapter 9, etc. to look at these specific tests in detail in terms of using Excel and SPSS. Keep well.